What's up guys, and welcome back to another video here on B Mills Wrestling. In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the 2025 Money in the Bank match card. Before we get into the video, if you guys are not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss any new videos. And don't forget to leave a like down below. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first match that I have on this card is John Cena defending his WWE Championship against LA Knight. Now, I know that there's been a ton of rumors and speculation that it was going to be John Cena versus CM Punk for the title at Money in the Bank, which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely want that match, and we definitely need to see that at some point in Cena's title run, but it does not have to happen at Money in the Bank. I know that's where they had their classic match back in 2011 for the title, one of the greatest matches of all time, and their greatest match of their entire rivalry. But you have to think about this. Saturday night's main event is just 2 weeks before Money in the Bank. And we know that at Saturday night's main event, it's probably going to be Cena versus R-Truth for the title. So do you really want a 2-week build of Cena versus Punk? I mean, in my opinion, the 3-week build of Cena versus Orton just felt very, dry. Like, I wanted more of Cena versus Orton. Like, I'm happy with what we got, but I just felt like that we needed more time to build a story. So I don't want them to have even shorter amount of time to build Cena versus CM Punk. I'd rather them do that at like SummerSlam. Initially, I did think it was going to be Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, and that's when Cody was going to win back the title. But now I think it's going to be Cena versus Punk at SummerSlam for the title, and then Cody doesn't return until a little after, and then we eventually get Cena versus Cody. But I think that Cena versus LA Knight at Money in the Bank makes the most sense because John Cena is advertised for Money in the Bank. I think that he's going to participate in every PLE during this retirement tour, which he already has. So I think that trend is going to continue, and I think that this is the perfect matchup for a couple reasons. The first being LA Knight's been kind of stuck in this mid-card scene for a while now. He's a two-time United States champion. He just lost his last 2 matches for the title. So I think it's time for him to just move on to something else. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that he's a main event player type of guy, but I'm willing to test it out. Test the waters. I want to see what he can do in the main event scene, and if he can prove me wrong, I think it's perfect. You don't need a long build for this feud at all. You don't need a ton of storytelling because John Cena and LA Knight, they don't have that much history. But it's a red hot babyface going against what is now one of the top heels in John Cena, so it makes perfect sense to me. You finally take LA Knight out of the mid-card scene and give him this huge opportunity against John Cena at Money in the Bank. And like I said, it doesn't need a long feud. Like a 2-week build for this match is perfect, in my opinion. That is completely fine. And then John Cena can retain this title, and then we can move on to Cena versus Punk going into SummerSlam, and we can get a long feud for that, which I think is the best case scenario. So I do think John Cena versus LA Knight is the correct choice for Money in the Bank because I don't really see any other baby faces that would be matching up against John Cena for this PLE. I think LA Knight does make the most sense. The next match that I have on this Money in the Bank card is Dominic Mysterio defending his Intercontinental Championship against AJ Styles. Now, this is one where I could see them also doing it at Saturday night's main event, or they could wait and do it at Money in the Bank. Either way, I'm fine with it. I think that Dominic Mysterio needs a good feud for this IC title. His feud with Penta was kind of a mini feud. Wasn't mad at it, but I do think we are going to eventually get this match versus AJ Styles because it's been teased a couple of times now, right? We've seen AJ in the clubhouse talking to the Dom in the Judgment Day. We just saw AJ versus Finn with AJ picking up the win. So obviously this match is coming. I feel like it's more likely to happen at Saturday night's main event because we still need, I think, 3 more matches to be confirmed. Right now we only have 2 confirmed matches, and Cena versus Truth will probably happen. So that'll leave room for a couple more matches if they keep doing their 5-match cards, which will probably happen. So in my opinion, this is probably more likely going to happen there. But either way, like I said, I'm fine with this match. I think this is huge for Dom's IC title run because I want him to have a lengthy IC title run. I do think we will eventually get into the feud with Finn Balor when Finn eventually turns on Dom or Dom turns on Finn, whatever it may be. But I think that will happen before SummerSlam. So I think this will be Dom's probably his last feud for the IC title before we get into the feud with Finn Balor, which will be at SummerSlam. But I do think Dom would retain his title in this match. Another match that I could see being on this Money in the Bank card or on Saturday night's main event is the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between the champion Lyra Valkyria and the challenger Becky Lynch. Now, obviously, They've had a feud for a little bit now, about 3 or 4 weeks, and we just saw the match at Backlash with Lyra Valkyria retaining against Becky Lynch. In my opinion, I was very caught off guard. I thought Becky was for sure taking that title, but no, Lyra did retain. I don't think that's the end, though. I think that this storyline is going to keep going. I think we will get a rematch between Becky and Lyra Valkyria, whether that's Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank. It's going to happen at one of the PLEs, and I do think that Becky Lynch will take that title from Lyra Valkyria to become the next Women's Intercontinental Champion. And then I think we will eventually get a Bayley return, and then we lead towards the Bayley versus Becky Lynch match for that title at SummerSlam. That's the direction I think they're heading in. But just like Dom versus AJ, it's either going to happen at Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank. But either way, I'm fine with it. The next match that I have on this card is Io Sky defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. This is another one. I don't know if it'll be on this card. It's another match that maybe could be on Saturday night's main event. Obviously, they've been teasing Rhea wanting her title back from Io Sky. Obviously, she wasn't pinned at WrestleMania. That was Bianca, who's now out with an injury. So in due time, we are going to get the one-on-one between Io versus Rhea for the final time. I don't know when that's going to be. Like I said, Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank. That seems to be what I keep saying with all of these matches. And I'll say it with another match that I'm going to mention right after this. But yeah, I know they're both baby faces right now, and they're both red hot baby faces. The fans love these two. But I do think that it'll lead to maybe a Bianca Belair heel turn and return. I've been saying this for a while. I initially thought that this match, Io versus Rhea, was going to be a Backlash, and Bianca was going to return, take out Rhea, become heel, lead towards a match at SummerSlam. Now I'm thinking it can still happen, because that is what I want to happen. Obviously, she's been out with the broken fingers, so I don't know how long that's going to take to recover. Hopefully, she is back soon, and maybe as soon as Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank, where she does return and cost Rhea, turning heel, and then you get Rhea versus Bianca at SummerSlam, because obviously everybody is waiting and waiting for that one-on-one match between those two, because we thought we were possibly going to get it at WrestleMania this year. We didn't, and now obviously it's still looming over everyone's head, so I think it makes the most sense to happen at the second most popular PLE in WWE that's not WrestleMania, and that is SummerSlam. So I do think that's what will happen if they end up doing this match. I could be completely wrong. They might just not do Io versus Rhea at all, but I do think that Rhea is next in line for that Women's World Championship. The next match that I have on here is another one, just like the last three matches, that I think could be on Saturday night's main event or Money in the Bank. But I do think that this one will definitely be on Saturday night's main event, but I'm just going to say it anyway, and that is Tiffany Stratton defending her WWE Women's Championship against Nia Jax. This is obviously an old storyline. No one's really interested in this storyline because it's been going on for a while, ever since Tiffany did cash in. Now, don't get me wrong, I've said this in previous videos, this feud does need closure. Like, it needs to happen in a one-on-one match, a clean match, with Tiffany just retaining her title. That way we can just put Nia in the rear view and then have Tiffany go on to bigger and better things with this title run. So I do think this will be on Saturday night's main event, because it's, in my opinion, not big enough for a PLE like Money in the Bank. I really wouldn't want to see that match there. I'd rather just get it over with at Saturday night's main event. But either way, obviously, I do think Tiffany Stratton does retain her WWE Women's Championship against Nia Jax, no matter what PLE this is at, or if it's just on an episode of SmackDown. The next match that I have on the card is a stacked six-man tag match between Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and a mystery teammate. Whoever decides to join up with Seth and Braun in this faction, we are all assuming that they are going to debut with the third member of this faction pretty soon. I think that we will get the debut at Saturday night's main event, and that will lead to this six-man tag at Money in the Bank. So I do think that this storyline obviously is going to keep going and going. And obviously for Saturday night's main event, we have Sami and Punk going against Seth and Braun, which is a variation of this match. But like I said, I think that's where the new member of this Seth Rollins faction will debut and will cost Sami and Punk the match, leading to Seth and Braun looking strong, winning their first match as a tag team as this new faction. And then obviously that's going to lead to some rebellion with Punk and Sami. And obviously they need a third member to match Seth, Braun, and whoever it may be, whether it's Austin Theory or Ethan Page, whoever it is, they need that third member. That's obviously going to be Jey Uso, because Jey and Sami are best friends. They've already had Jey and Seth Rollins have a match for the world title. Jey and Braun have a match set up for Raw. next week. So obviously Jay's intertwined within this storyline. Jay does have a world title defense at Saturday night's main event with Logan Paul. I do expect him to just retain the title against Logan. But the interesting thing is that Jay does have a world title match with Gunther, the Raw after Money in the Bank. So that's what makes this interesting. So I don't know if this match will for sure happen, but I'm like 90% confident that it will. I think it makes the most sense. I don't think Jay obviously is going to defend his world title at Money in the Bank because he's got that match lined up the Raw after with Gunther, but I do think they want to have him on the card because it is one of the big four PLEs. So I do think that Jay will be on the card in this six-man tag match, and I do think that we will see Seth, Braun, and whoever is the third member of this faction walk out as winners in this match. But then I do think we will get the return of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns obviously got taken out by Braun and Seth. He's been written off TV. So I think that he will return. It's been rumored that he is going to return near Money in the Bank. So I think that him returning at Money in the Bank makes the most sense. That way you can take away CM Punk from the storyline and you can just do maybe Jay, Sammy, and Roman. I mean, that's the OG bloodline, right? Without Jimmy. I think that makes more sense because then you can put Punk into the storyline with John Cena leading to SummerSlam, which is what I think they want to do. So I think that having Roman return at this PLE and taking out Seth and Braun and getting his revenge ultimately makes the most sense. So I do think that this will be a match that is on the card, and I do think Seth, Braun, and the third member will win this match, but Roman Reigns returns and takes it. Okay, now it's time for the Money in the Bank ladder matches. I'm going to start with the women's ladder match, and in that match, I have 7 contestants. I know they did 6 last year, but I'm going to say 7 anyway because they have done 7 in the past. I have Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Julia in this match. Now, in my opinion, I think that they are all the perfect candidates to be in this Money in the Bank match because I could 100% see like Naomi winning this match. Honestly, I think she's my pick to win the briefcase because a while back I did say that she was going to be the one to dethrone Tiffany Stratton. So I think what a better way to do it than have her win the briefcase and cash in on Tiffany. I could also see Roxanne Perez winning this match because she's a tremendous heel. She's a young superstar that just got called up, similarly to Tiffany Stratton last year. A young superstar who got called up, was a show stealer in the Rumble and the Chamber, and then won the Money in the Bank. Roxanne Perez has been on that same route this year, and she basically just got called up. Same with Julia. I don't think Julia would win this match, but I do think that this is a perfect opportunity for Julia to showcase her talent on the main roster to people who may not be familiar with her. And then I said Charlotte as well. Don't think Charlotte would win the Money in the Bank at all, but to really solidify this match, to be one of the better Money in the Bank matches, I think you have to have Charlotte in there because obviously she's still chasing the world title right now, and like you got to get to the back of the line, so she's not going to get that one-on-one rematch for a while. So obviously the way to cut the line is to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash in anytime you want. So I think that's perfect, but obviously I don't think she should win. Alexa Bliss being in this match, like I said, she has to be in this match, right? I mean, she is such an over superstar, and it sucks that she's been off TV for so long. She just made her return. I hope that they have a direction for her and they can keep her on TV because the fans love her. I don't think she would win this match, though, because it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it would be a younger superstar or someone who just got a drastic heel turn like Naomi. So I don't think Bliss would win this match, but like Charlotte, she can be the vet in this match that helps solidify it and get the fans engaged. Jade Cargill, she's a real contestant. I think Jade and Naomi, like, it could go either way, right? Like, right now you have 2 babyface champions, so I feel like a heel is bound to win this briefcase. So I don't know if Jade would, but you never know. Jade is obviously a super over superstar right now. She's been great as a single star. With this push she's receiving, her feud with Naomi's been excellent. So I would not be mad if Jade won this briefcase, but I just don't really see that happening. And then obviously Chelsea Green, like I said, I think that she's another heavy favorite because last year a lot of fans wanted her to win. It was her or Tiffany Stratton. So obviously we got a good winner in Tiffany Stratton. Like, people were okay with that. I was okay with that. But like, nobody was going to be mad if Chelsea won. Like, everyone was going to be hyped for that. When she was on top of the ladder before Tiffany got up there, like, everyone was screaming, like, they wanted her to win. The pop she got when she won the U.S. title was awesome. Like, fans love Chelsea Green, and she obviously would be an excellent briefcase holder, like like the U.S. title run, it wasn't good. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it needed to be booked better. I think that's kind of on the creative's fault. But if they can book her with the briefcase better than they did with the championship, I would 100% be okay with her winning this. But as for who wins this match, I don't know. It's a really tough one, but I will say Naomi walks out as winner and does eventually cash in on Tiffany Stratton. Now that finally brings us to the men's Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match. In this match, I also have 7 wrestlers. So I have Carmelo Hayes, Karrion Kross, Penta, Aleister Black, Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, and Logan Paul. This is an absolutely stacked field, and I'm going to explain each and every one of these wrestlers that I put in here and why. In my opinion, I think that the Money in the Bank belongs to a young superstar or a superstar that is, kind of just getting over with the crowd and hasn't won anything too significant in the past. That's what I think the Money in the Bank should be used for. I don't think you need guys like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I don't think you need those type of guys in the Money in the Bank match. Yes, it would be freaking awesome and the match would be crazy, but I think Money in the Bank is best used to elevate a superstar, right? A superstar that needs elevating. Like those guys that I just named, they don't need elevating. But I think that these 7 are perfect contestants. Carmelo Hayes, self-explanatory. The guy was the #1 draft pick to SmackDown last year. He was the hottest superstar in NXT the year prior, and a former NXT champion. In my opinion, I feel like he's been underbooked. Like his booking has not been good by Triple H this year. I feel like he should have been the U.S. champion at one point. They fumbled that. I feel like there's been a lot of missed opportunities with him. I feel like he's been thrown into stupid feuds, stupid matches. I feel like he's been losing matches when he shouldn't. Just little stuff like that. But I do hope that it's just all for the payoff that he wins the briefcase, because you look at all the talent that got called up last year. Tiffany Stratton won the briefcase, won the women's championship. Who else? Lara Valkyria. She won the women's IC title. And then we have Braun Breaker, who's a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and now is inserted into this crazy main event faction with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman. Like, you know what I mean? He, in my opinion, his push has to be coming soon, especially if he was the #1 draft pick to SmackDown. You have to do something with him, and him winning the Money in the Bank would just be awesome. He is actually my pick to win this match. I feel like he deserves it, and like a Chelsea Green or a Roxanne Perez or a Naomi, I think that he has the perfect heel persona to carry this briefcase. I feel like he would look so good with the briefcase, like all the failed cash-ins, not failed cash-ins, but like the fake outs when you think he's going to cash in and doesn't. I feel like that would be executed perfectly. And then when he finally cashes in, I feel like the pop would be crazy. So I feel like he's the perfect guy for this match. Karrion Kross, another guy who's gotten super over with the crowd recently. He's actually #1 in merch sales, believe it or not. So with that promo he cut off of WWE TV, fans are really rallying behind him. Like, we want to see him on TV more. Like, he's only been in like backstage segments for like 30 seconds. Like, people want more Karrion Kross. They want matches with Karrion Kross. Like, people were frustrated when he got eliminated from the Battle Royal, like stuff like that. Him being in this match is perfect. Even if he doesn't win, I feel like them putting him in this match shows that they are willing to do something with Karrion Kross, because in my opinion, it's just wasted talent right now, and I totally would not mind if he won this briefcase, but I don't think it would happen. Then we move over to Penta. Penta, obviously, super red hot right now. Debuted a couple months ago on the Raw debut of Netflix, I believe it was. He's just been super over since he's debuted. Like, the crowd loves him. Like the Cero Miedo, like the gimmick has been there. Like, the crowd loves that. He's obviously been involved in the IC title mix right now. And obviously he's done a great job in that realm as well. I do think that he should stick to the mid card, but I feel like, obviously, like I said, the Money in the Bank, like, you're supposed to have mid cards in there. So I think he's perfect. He's a high flyer. He's a luchador. I feel like you have to have him in this match. He makes perfect sense in my opinion. I don't think he would win this though. I think Penta is going to stay around the mid card scene after this, and then I think eventually he's going to regroup with his brother Rey Fenix, and they are going to do something in the tag division somewhere down the line. Aleister Black, another guy who recently debuted, or re-debuted. Obviously, he was with the company before. He went to AEW, came back to WWE. I don't see him winning this match, but I just feel like it's an awesome showcase for a guy that just came back to the company. He's obviously been in a Money in the Bank match before, so it's nothing new to him. I would love to see him in this. Some other guys I didn't name, like Rusev and Ray Phoenix, like they could also be in this match as well. Like I do want to see the new guys, the people that just debuted for the company. Like I want to see them in this match, but obviously we can only have so many of those. So I would be fine with either of them. But Damian Priest I have in this match. In my opinion, obviously, I don't think Damian Priest is going to win the Money in the Bank match. I actually don't know if he's going to be in this match. I initially had LA Knight in this match, but then I moved LA Knight over to the WWE title match with John Cena. I don't think Damian Priest would obviously win no matter what because he just won the briefcase a couple years ago. That makes no sense at all to me. But I feel like he's a guy that they've been putting in these type of matches. Like he was in the Chamber. He lasted a while in the Rumble. Like they do stuff with him in the main event scene. Like they want him in these type of matches, but in my opinion, he won't win this. Jacob Fatu is an interesting one. He is the current United States champion, but I do think he will be in this match just because of the fact that he's so over right now with the crowd. Could you imagine he's on top of that ladder, he wins the briefcase, like the pop he would get? Oh my. I don't think it's going to happen. Obviously, he's holding the U.S. title. I don't think he's going to lose the U.S. title before the Money in the Bank match. But I feel like that fake out of him about to win it would be awesome. And I also feel like this is the perfect opportunity to have Solo Sikoa turn on him with Jeff Cobb. We obviously just saw Jeff Cobb debut. There's obviously a lot of tension between Solo and Jacob. We know the turn is coming, and I believe that the match between Solo and Jacob for the U.S. title is going to be at SummerSlam. So I think that Money in the Bank is the perfect opportunity to have Solo cost Jacob. Now, they could do this kind of in the way they did CM Punk climbing the ladder in 2014, I believe it was, when Paul Heyman turned on him, or 2013. I don't know what year that was. But with Heyman smashing the ladder off CM Punk's head and turning, they could do something similar to that and have Solo and Jeff Cobb just destroy Jacob Fatu, leading to that match. So I think that that's why Jacob Fatu will be in this match. I don't think he would win it, but I do think Solo would turn on him, leading to their match at SummerSlam. Then finally, like I said, Logan Paul in this match. I think he's a given. Like, he's definitely going to be in this match. He's another guy who is a high flyer. He can have a ton of crazy spots in these ladder matches. He was not in the Money in the Bank ladder match last year. So I think this year it's a perfect opportunity to put him back into that field. Obviously, he's a world title match with Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event. I obviously don't expect him to win that match whatsoever. So I think the way that he can stay in the main event scene is by entering this Money in the Bank ladder match and being a guy that actually could win that briefcase. I know I picked Carmelo Hayes, but if it's not Melo, I think that it's going to be Logan Paul. Because I think that it's going to be a heel. Just like the women's side, I think we're going to have two heel Money in the Bank holders. Usually, that's what it is with WWE. That's how they tend to book these Money in the Bank winners. But I do think that Logan Paul is a great choice, whether you like him or hate him. He's an excellent heel. He's got that heel hate with the crowd. Obviously, those intense boos every time he tries to speak. Like him with the briefcase, it would just make sense. Like every week he's going out there. He, like I said with Carmelo Hayes, like those false cash-ins when you think he's gonna cash in. Like I feel like he would represent the briefcase so well, and then him winning a world title would just get everybody pissed off. And I feel like that's something that Triple H wouldn't be opposed to. I feel like he wants to mess with people and have Logan Paul win this briefcase just so he can get the crowd riled up, and Logan Paul would probably be the most hated world champion of all time. But either way, that's the 7 that I have in this match, and I do think and hope that Carmelo Hayes walks out as winner. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment what video you guys want to see in the future. Alright guys, peace.